Hey guys, Brandon Woldham with CCM Magazine. Today we are hanging out with Lucy Grimble. How are you, Lucy?
I'm very well, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show.
Yeah. So we're completely across the ocean from one another right now. You're over in the UK. I'm here in the States in Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's start by going back a little bit here. You've been making music for a while, but how in the world
Mm.
did your worship songs end up here in the States? How do we even know who Lucy is here?
Oh, good question. The honest answer is I don't really know because I am so terrible at like promoting my own music. So I think it really has been kind of word of mouth over the years. I've been back and forth to the States for different reasons over the years. I've got lots of friends over in the States, so I think just kind of yeah, I guess like it's been quite natural word of mouth, but then as I've developed as an artist, it's probably grown. And then with this album, I've done it in partnership with Integrity, so they've been firing on all cylinders, really.
Well, that new album, it's out now, just came out a few days ago, actually, Between the Shadow and the Sun. This one you worked on for a couple years, right?
Yeah, that's right. Started it in the middle of the pandemic. Started writing the songs then, and then kind of went into production about a year and a half later, and then yeah, it's just come out.
So, what should people expect as they load this one up in their Spotify and give it a listen?
I would suggest it's an album to kind of it's a concept album. It's written to be listened to in one go. It actually kind of is a circular album, so you can listen to the last track and then it runs back into the first track, and it's meant to sort of reflect the course of the day. So from sunrise to sunset, the songs sort of take you on this journey, almost like through the day. Slash, it's meant to be like a metaphor for like the journey through life. So I would recommend listening from start to finish. And I think what I really, really want the album to do is create empathy with the listener, for the listener to feel like, you know, maybe I felt that too, or I'm feeling that right now, and I feel kind of held in that moment, and I feel, um, I guess more hope as a result of listening to it. So, yeah, I hope people feel a deep sense of hope and a deep sense of peace and empathy.
Like many of us these past couple of years, there's been some dark times for us. What are some words of
Mm,
encouragement for these folks who are out there dealing with personal and mental health struggles right now?
yeah. I think the encouragement really for me is just the consistency of God, the faithfulness of God. I know that that is something that almost feels cliched because we hear it all the time, but genuinely, I feel like I've encountered a God who's not shied away from my darkest moments. Um, a God that really enters in and suffers with us. So, yeah, I guess just that sense of God entering into our struggle, not being afraid of any question we can throw at him, any doubt, any wrestle, any struggle that we might be going through. He can take it, he can handle it, and yeah, he wants our honesty. He wants our angry prayers. He wants our lost prayers. He wants our disappointed prayers. He can take it all. So yeah, I guess just that sense of a God who enters into every moment of our lives.
Sometimes with you songwriters, we think songs just come to you and you just spit songs out every single day, every moment. But writer's block, it's a real thing and something that you have expressed you went through as you were writing this album.
Yeah,
How'd you work through
yeah.
that and overcome the writer's block?
Well, really, this album was me emerging from the writer's block. So, the way I dealt with writer's block was I just kind of put down the pen. I stopped trying to struggle to squeeze songs out. Everything I was writing just felt very hollow and cliched. And so I wanted to write things authentically and honestly. So I almost had to just put down the pen and say to God, if you've got something different for me, then I'm just going to have to accept that. I have loved songwriting and I would love to keep going, but genuinely, if this is like a course correction, then fine, like let's go on this new journey. So really, I dealt with it by stopping struggling and wrestling. And then thankfully, it almost just one day, kind of like spring, when the flowers just suddenly pop up out the ground. The first song on the album, Ready for the Dawn, just came one day. And it was almost like the end of the silence for me. So, yeah, I guess my advice for anyone struggling with writer's block is maybe just it's okay to stop striving and it's okay to stop the like wrestle with it and just allow yourself to be, because I think there's deeper stuff going on that is behind the writer's block sometimes.
The new single, it's out there now too. Perfect timing. Maybe tell us a little bit about the story where that song comes from.
Yeah, this song is about the kind of the waiting on God, but it's also about the suddenly moments where God suddenly kind of accelerates parts of your life that you're almost not ready for, which can be sort of as well, you need as much trust in both. You need trust in the waiting, and you need trust when you feel actually, wow, I'm in a situation that I don't feel equipped for, I don't feel prepared for. So yeah, really the song is kind of just pointing the listener back to trusting that God has the timing. He knows why he's putting you in those situations. And yeah, he can be trusted.
So, despite this album, you want people to listen to it from front to back. We're kind of stubborn these days, and we'll still just add that single song to our playlist. So, as people give this full album a listen, what's one you want to make sure they go back and maybe re-listen to, listen to the lyrics
Yeah.
closely, and don't just skim over the song?
Yeah, great question. I would say the title track, Between the Shadow and the Sun. That song for me really encapsulates the heart of the album. The fact that, you know, it is this journey through life. It is this journey through the valley of the shadow of death, and also the kind of the mountaintops, and that ultimately it is this reassurance that God is with us through that whole journey. So yeah, that would be the song.
Love it. Well, give that one a listen. Give the whole album, The Shadow and the Sun, a listen from Lucy Grimble. Lucy, good hanging out with you today.
Thank you so much.